Okay, right, let's talk. And I'm just realizing that I'm wearing the same thing as the last two videos. But it's okay, we don't give a fuck. As you probably have seen on the title, I'm starting over. I'm starting a new journey. And this is something that I wanted to do this for a really long time. I had it in my back of my mind. And, well, simply said, I'm going back to trading. Now, to give you a quick overview of what has happened the last year and why I made the decision and how it's actually going to look like from now on in my daily life and also on YouTube. Well, real quick, I have been running a marketing agency for the last year. It was an SMMA. I was helping home service businesses start a business, did their marketing, run Facebook ads, yada, yada, yada. And I have invested so much money into it. I have invested so much time into it and so much mental energy that at one point I felt stuck. I was like, because I've done all of this now, there's no reason for me to get out. But I kept bumping against the same wall, and that was that whatever I was doing in that space, it didn't fulfill me, it didn't align with who I want to be, and it just didn't feel right. And I came to a point where, and this is going to sound really weird, I came to a point that even though I want to get rich, I had everything I needed and I knew exactly what I had to do to get to 10, 20, 30K a month because I had everything I needed and I knew exactly what to do, but I still chose not to do so. And if I would have told myself this over a year ago when I started making money online, and I would have been like, what the fuck is your problem? But I just came to the conclusion that I'm just not made for the agency space. And I don't want to see it as I failed in a way as in, oh, you're fucking loser, you couldn't do it, you didn't work hard enough, because I put a lot of stuff into it to make it work and to just push through the difficulties, because I've been through a lot of shit in the agency space. But I just realized that, hey, this just isn't for me. It's for me anymore. I just didn't like it anymore. It didn't fulfill me in any sort of way. And now maybe you wonder, why are you going to trading? Because trading is something completely different, you know. Well, back when I started trying to make money online, the first thing that I actually started to do was trading. I remember I was watching T-Charge Bootcamp, and I was so locked in. I was so excited, but it was my first experience with this whole online entrepreneurial space, because I already was an entrepreneur. I was already running a business, but it was like a landscaping business, so it was in the physical world instead of behind the screen. So I got so new to everything and self-improvement, and then of course the usual, I got trapped into this shiny object syndrome, woman in a red dress, started trying a bunch of other things like drop shipping, creating an app, selling ebooks, etc., etc. Tried different business models. Eventually, I kind of just got pushed into the agency space. Eventually, actually started running an agency, got clients, made some decent money. But I've also invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into it. But I always had this thing in the back of my mind that I was like, I fucking feel ashamed that I ever quitted on trading, because all this time I knew that trading, the person who you will become, the whole concept behind it, the whole grind behind it, the whole culture and the art behind it is something that resonates more with who I am, because I am an introvert, okay? That's sure, I don't mind making videos, but once it's about getting in public and whatever and doing shit, I don't really like that stuff. I really enjoy just sitting by myself and doing something for myself that also doesn't involve many other people. And that was the case with the agency, because I was constantly on people's lips and I hated that stuff. And I always had this guilt feeling that trading would have been the path I should have kept going on, like kept following and following and following instead of just quitting. But I was so new to this space, I didn't even knew what the shiny object syndrome back then was. I only realized it later, until I actually kept suffering from it, because I kept jumping and jumping and jumping, and at one point you're like, okay, I need to stick to something, and that's when the agency stuff actually knocked on the door. And now I'm 14 months later, almost 14 months already later, and I just realized, like, I don't want to do shit anymore. I'm going back to trading. I made the decision out of the blue. Also, if you watched my last two videos, in those videos, first of all, I wasn't where I'm at right now. Like, I was 9 hours away from here in the mountains. It was a great experience, and I actually realized there that whatever I was doing just wasn't the right thing for me. And in those last 2 videos, I was kind of trying to make a point. I said a lot of things, but I also didn't say much. If you watch those, you will definitely see what I'm talking about. But I was also kind of spread a message, and also just talking about what was going on inside of my head, what were my thoughts, and also kind of like a shift in how I was looking at certain things. And it was pretty interesting for myself to make those videos and to look back at them while I was editing them. I was kind of looking at it like, okay, this is just a little bit of going from left to right, talking about whatever is going on inside of my head. But I will still post this, you know? I don't care. It's good to look back at it. It's good to kind of like document a journey. And this is exactly what I'm also going to be doing with this. I'm going full in trading. It's going to take me a year, 2 years, 3 years until I become profitable. I know that this is also just a commitment for myself, because I'm not deleting this video. At least I'm not planning on deleting this video. I'm committing on trading, and I know that this is not going to be easy, but if it was easy, everyone would have done it, of course. That's something that I've definitely learned, because in that 1 year of running an agency, I have been seeing so many people come and go, so many people fail, succeed, make money, lose money, crash the fuck out, or buy them dream car with it. It's absolutely crazy how fast things can go. And now I already understand just a tiny bit of trading, but I'm also just starting back to go into the basics. For example, I'm just starting, and also something that I've learned is just do with whatever you already know and what you already have. So I'm basically just going back to the basics with also where I started back then, like over a year ago, which was Teacher's Bootcamp. But this is just what I know. This is just who I know I can go after, and it will teach me the basics regardless, no matter what. What comes after that, I will leave it up to the journey, you know, my inputs, my schedules, you know, my mistakes, learning, journaling, back testing, etc., etc. All the things that I need to do, I will figure them out along the way. It's not a fucking sprint, okay? It's a marathon. I need to take my time with it, because I know how both dangerous but also rewarding trading can be. Someone who is in a trading space, who I started talking to from a community where I was already in, he told me that behind all the struggles, all the difficulties, the fears, and the things that you will face lies a life that people don't even dare to dream about. You can make the X amount of money that you want to make, even in one trade. You can buy whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. You're not tied to anyone but yourself, because in trading, it's you versus you. And your outputs really get reflected on how you perform with your inputs. But with a marketing agency, it's kind of like the same, but also you have to also go after people. You have to make sure that you run a team. You have to make sure that the month actually looks profitable by making sure that no people churn, you know, no clients churn. Make sure that you have a route of inputs for cold calling and text messaging or emails or voicemails, Loom videos, whatever you need to do. You need to do so much. And I know that trading isn't easy, but it's just, I'm done with the agency stuff, bro. I'm just so done with it, okay? So what will you expect on this channel? I'm basically probably going to post 1 video a week, 1 to 2 videos a week. And I'm just going to be talking about my experience. That's it. I'm going to keep this video raw for now. Yeah, I don't know what to tell, bro. I'm really fucking hyped and excited. I'm just leaving everything from my agency behind. What I will do for cash flow, I have no idea yet, but I will figure it out along the way, okay? I'm not in a situation where I'm like, oh, I need to be scraping off the floor. I still have some money saved up, and in the meanwhile, I will find something, and something will cross my path. I genuinely believe in that something will make me money to survive the month, of course, because I know how being an entrepreneur is. I know that if you do something for yourself, I know that if you're trying to make money for yourself, nobody's coming to save you. So I'm not expecting anyone to save me, and that's okay. You shouldn't be expecting, oh, my hair looks like fucking shit. You shouldn't expect someone to save you in the first place. So with that being said, this is my commitment video. This is a message for myself, for my futuristic self and to my younger self that I'm starting over. I'm leaving this old life behind. I'm becoming this new person. I'm shifting identity in some way, and I'm fucking excited to just rock and roll. Like, I'm gonna be locked in. Like, I don't literally, I can do literally all I need is a fucking laptop and a phone. Or not even a phone, I just need a laptop and lock the fucking and making this work and become profitable. Not as soon as possible, because I know it's a long game and I'm just aware of that, okay? I know that I will face difficulties, I know I will stay stuck, but now I'm in a way better position mentally than I was a year ago when I started all this shit, because I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea how all of this worked, this whole self-improvement stuff, and I had no idea how to push through difficulties. But I've been through a lot of shit. Trust me, I've been through a lot of shit. I've spent a fuck ton of money. I've lost a fuck ton of money. I have lost a fuck ton of people. I've lost a fuck ton of things in general. Okay, a couple goals I succeeded in achieving a couple goals, like moving out of my mom's place, and also the second goal is moving out of the country, because I moved to fucking France. That's fucking crazy. I was from the Netherlands and now I moved to fucking France. So without any yapping, I will see you in the next video. I don't know what that's going to be about. I'm definitely going to do some research about what type of videos I will make. I will create a community later down the line, which will be a Skool community, because I don't want to create your average Discord server with a bunch of 14-year-olds trying to sell you some AI shit, or people trying to DM you selling you some AI trading bullshit. No, I'm just going to make a private community. So if you want to know more about this community, let me know. If you want to have it as soon as possible, let me know. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. And now I'm going to get back to fucking studying the charts.